Hey guys, welcome to another fan cam or a match review, as I like to call them now. And I'm joined by Fizzy. Fizzy, how you doing, mate? 5-0 to
I'm good.
Man City. Absolute joke, mate. Where do we go from here, my man?
Do you know what? As I said, I think like it is a culmination of multiple problems all mounting together. It's years and years and years of incompetence, years of neglect, years of poor decisions, years of bad management, years of poor negotiations. It is a mess from top to bottom. Today, the thing is that I just want to say is that I've seen so many Arsenal fans talk about, oh, it's only 2 games. It's only 3 games. It's the start of the
Yeah.
season. This is not start of the season. This is not 2, 3 games. We've seen this year after year. We saw the same under Wenger, saw the same under Emery, and now we're seeing the same under Arteta. This is not 2, 3 games. And people and Arsenal fans in general need to understand that, because it's not just as simple as, oh, it's 2 games, start of the season, like, oh, it'll get better. It's not about that. It's way more.
Definitely. Do you know what, mate? That's really, really good facts there, mate. I think you're right. It's been a roller coaster for us Arsenal fans. We always seem to find a positive out of nothing, which hat off to all of us for doing that. But you go back 10, 15 years, and we were in such a bad situation back then. I was having a chat off camera with Jez, and I was saying to him that I remember back in the day when I was growing up, it was the Arsenal Man United days, neck and neck. But truth be told, United were a little bit better than us.
Yeah.
And back then, I was like, I just wish Arsenal were better than Man United. I wish we were okay. But now, look at how much he's dropped since then. It's a joke, mate. It's
Do you
a
know
joke.
what, mate? Honestly, right? I was just thinking about it while I was watching the game, and I was thought, you know what? Some of the players we had like back then, we could have been
Yeah,
2-3 nil down. They would have not gone down like that. They would have not. They would have put a challenge in, left something on someone. Like I'm seeing
yeah.
heads drop after 1-0. Then you got like Granit Xhaka doing the stupid things that he does
Oh, mate.
again and again. Mate, do you know what it is? It's a complete. Arteta came in and he started using, as Lee likes to call it, the buzzwords. This culture, process, all of those fancy words and stuff like that. And then you've got absolutely no evidence every single week. No evidence of it at all. West
Mm.
Brom, yeah, cool. Oh yeah, 1-6-0, great, absolutely lovely. Like again, like I was watching the West Brom game, and I was like, you know what? Like it's just good to see a goal. That's where we're at
Yeah.
now. We're at there. Like you heard the away fans on against West Brom, they were cheering 1-2s.
Mm.
Something that this club is playing good football is a given. That's a standard
Yeah.
that we had back in the day. We were cheering that against West Brom.
Mm.
Honestly, it's a
No,
mess, mate.
I
It's a
agree,
mess.
mate. I agree. And do you know that's for me. I've not said it on camera yet, but you brought it up, and I'm going to say it. I completely agree with what you're saying there in terms of the fact that I do miss the pretty days of Arsenal.
Mm,
We used to play attractive football. Yes, we used to get slated saying we're a poor man's Barcelona, but we were that pretty attractive team to watch. And
yeah,
even if we didn't win, let's say it was a 0-0, we'd still make entertainment. Whereas
yeah.
now, whether we win, draw, lose, there is no attractive football. There is no vision. We are completely lost, mate, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. I think again, like it's goes back to years. It just goes back to years of just poor mistakes management. Like
Mm,
I was looking at the lineup today, and I saw people tweeting out saying that 8 of these players were signed under Arsene Wenger. We've had
mm,
2 managers since then. Two
yeah,
managers. Like, how can you have 2 managers and still have more than half the team or 80% of the team almost be from Arsene Wenger?
yeah,
Like
that's a really
what?
good point.
That's it's just, and this is the thing. Like Arteta, like came in and saying he wanted to make a change and have a culture change and all of that, and yet you're using Arsene Wenger's players to try and create a change. Things that these spankings that we got today, we have seen them under Arsene Wenger.
Mm,
Rob Holding, Kolasinac. We were begging for Kolasinac. I remember when we were playing against Liverpool and we got spanked. Was it
yeah,
4-0? We were begging for Kolasinac to play on his first season, and now he's here like at City getting absolutely annihilated 5-0.
stunned.
It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, mate. Honestly, it really is.
So, mate, looking at the lineup, let's go back to that really quickly. I mean, for you, would you have played at a 3 at the back, or would you gone for the 4-3-3?
I didn't mind too much about the 3 at the back. I think we should have
Yeah,
played 3 at the
same.
back against Chelsea to match them. I thought he was going to do that anyways, because obviously he
Yeah.
played against Chelsea and against City in the FA Cup with 3 at the back. Did very well. Obviously, it was a better performance than we saw today and obviously last week. So I thought he was going to go 3 at the back, and I thought that him playing Kolasinac. I saw Kolasinac's name and I'm saying, sorry, I'm not having this. You're trying to get rid of a player. You want to pay him off to sign for another club, but you're still giving him minutes when we've signed Nuno Tavares as a new signing sitting on the bench when he can do is probably a better job, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I thought what they should have done, if he wanted to go with a back three, put Tierney at left centre back, put Nuno Tavares at left wing back, at least that way. Because Tavares, I've seen a little bit of him, obviously, playing for us and whatnot. And he does offer something going forward. He's built quite well going forward. Like he can gallop down that left wing back side, thinking that he could make a difference. But yeah, I saw Kolasinac, Holding, and Chambers, and I literally thought to myself, yeah, this is gonna be a long day, man. It's gonna be a long day. I tweeted it out. I literally said, this is gonna be a long day, because we've seen the same players, so you expect the same results at the end of the day. So
100%. It's like, what do you expect if you don't change things? And
exactly.
I'm with you on that 100%. I would have put Tierney at the left back 3, and then obviously a Tavares in front of him on left wing. When we have the ball, Tierney can act like a left wing back, and Tavares can get forward. You've got cover. But I mean, what doesn't make sense, the whole Xhaka thing. I want to touch on that really quickly, mate. I mean, that's now 4 red cards he's had for us. Arteta has trusted him over the likes of Benzema. So surely that is another mistake by Arteta. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%, mate. The thing is with me with Xhaka is I saw this long time coming. I wanted him gone probably last summer. Like, I've been calling for his head for ages. My end point was probably, like a lot of fans' end point, was when the Crystal Palace game, the armband on the floor. Like, listen, you can call me nostalgic, you can call me, this, whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you support a football club, and you don't want any player ever to disrespect your football club, whether they mean it or not. And what he did for me was unforgivable. So if you want to back him, fair enough. Obviously, he's here now. He signed a new contract. But it's a mistake, because we've seen him do it before. He's given us evidence that these things are in his game. Whether he can have an absolute world-class game, but he'll do something silly like this, what he did today, and it can overshadow his whole performance. And this is why he's always going to be a liability in the midfield.
Yeah, completely.
He's always going to have that in his game, and that's a dangerous thing, because we need stability, but you can't have someone in the midfield who has that in his game. We can't afford it.
Every time he plays, there's something in the back of his head that is undermining himself because of the whole situation itself, which means he's not giving 100% to us as a squad. I think best of both scenarios would be to kind of get rid, mutual agreement. Okay, see you later. We should have taken a hit, whether it's 10 mil, 15 mil, should have happened, mate, shouldn't it?
100%, yeah.
Well, listen, mate, do you know, you speak really well, mate. You really do. I've enjoyed this interview. I really have. Do you go down to the games much, or?
I wish, mate. Honestly, do you know what? Even seeing these like week in, week out, I wish I could go to more games. I live in the Midlands, so I can't actually get to games and that. But always supporting from afar, man. Always supporting from afar.
Well, listen, reach out if you need a hook up, mate. Give me a shout, buddy.
That, man.
But listen, before I let you go, I've got to ask you something, mate. I'm not going to ask about Arteta, which is what you're probably thinking.
All right.
Because everyone's saying, like, right, Tom, what are you expecting me to say Arteta in or out? I'm bored of this, right? I'm gonna say something else. So look, there has to be a way back, surely. Where do we go from here, mate? Where do we go from here?
I think the first thing is Vinay and Edu. If I was to, I saw a poll on Twitter about a couple of days ago, after the West Brom game, saying, who would you get rid of, Vinay, Edu, or Arteta? And I didn't actually choose Arteta first. I chose Vinay or Edu, because they're above him. They should be seen. Even any manager, like for example, I look at Chelsea as like a model. any manager that comes in always has the resources and tools and stability to do the job that are needed. And when he comes in, he obviously recommends players that he wants, etc., etc. We're relying on different managers to bring in different sets of players. So every time we change a manager, we're bringing on more players, more, etc., etc. If we had that stability above the manager, regardless of who came in, that manager knows you've got the upstairs of technical directors, CEOs, whatever, to do your job on that pitch. You've got that when you need it.
It trickles through, doesn't
it? Exactly. I would start from top rather than looking at the bottom, in my personal opinion.
I love that, mate.
Yeah, I'm not saying Arteta is not a problem. I'd get rid of him tomorrow if Conte was available. Give him a call, bring whatever he wants, bring him in. But I still think that there is more to just get rid of Arteta and bang, we're back. Like it's more than that.
Mate, I agree. I definitely agree. And when you look at it from a broader aspect, rather than just tunnel vision, looking at the easiest thing to blame, you're bang on. You need to look at the hierarchy. At the end of the day, I run a business and know what it's like. You have to lead from example. And if there's no leaders above Arteta and he feels like he's on his own, he is going to be a lost sheep. But listen, Fizzy, where can we find you, mate? And tell us a little bit about yourself before you go.
At JRFIZZY on all socials. I'm a FIFA YouTuber and content creator. I've been doing it for like 3-4 years. So yeah, if you just type in JRFIZZY, the name, just right there. Yeah, just type it in. I'm on all socials at JRFIZZY. There you go.
I'm trying to get the right angle, mate. It's like a mirror at the moment. It's top man. Well, listen, Fizzy, absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute legend. Really good to speak to you, mate. I'm guessing you're Arteta out or you're Arteta in, mate?
No, I'm Arteta out. To be fair, I was Arteta out at Burnley at home last season.
Yeah.
So I've been Arteta out for ages, mate. But
Sticks
no, honestly,
to his morals.
Yeah, appreciate you lot having me on anyways. Always watching. So big up, man. And everyone, make sure you like and subscribe.
Love that. All right, mate.